Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now guys, it looks as though this Ruga Fulanization agenda of Malam Buhari and the cabal might well be a blessing in disguise. It might well be the panacea that we have been looking for in the southern parts of Nigeria to rediscover our mojo, because the resistance to this thing is something that I've never seen amongst the southerners before. Because traditionally with the southern Nigerians, all they do is go cap in hand to whoever is in charge and beg for money, and they are ready to give up anything and sacrifice anything for that money. But now this land grab, this attempt to install and instill terrorist camps within all of the 36 states of the country, because have no doubt about it, that Ruga plan is actually a plan to install terrorist cells within the 36 states of the country, so that they can then just trigger them at a moment's notice to launch an attack against the people of those states. So these Ruga settlements will be like terrorist cells installed within all of the states, and they'll be like gathering information, getting to know the lay of the land, so that at a moment's notice, when their Fulani leadership send them the signal, they can just attack you and overwhelm you easily. So that's really the Ruga plan, and I think the southerners have cottoned on to this fact. So now I bring you this Ruga controversy: defend your land, Ooni Soyinka tells Nigerians SMBLF alleges fresh plot. So that's the headline: Ruga controversy, defend your land, Ooni Soyinka tells Nigerians SMBLF alleges fresh plot. So now to the body of the story. The Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, and Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka have called on Nigerians across state demarcations to defend the sanctity of their ancestral land against usage for Ruga cattle settlements. The call was contained in a communique issued on Sunday to document highlights of last Thursday's meeting between the monarch and Soyinka at the latter's home in Idi Aba, Abeokuta, Ogun State. The meeting focused on the state of the nation. The Ooni of Ife and the Nobel laureate in the communique on Sunday said their call on Nigerians to defend themselves became necessary as the coalition of northern groups gave a 30-day ultimatum to the federal government to implement the Ruga project for Fulani herders, despite its suspension after a public outcry against it. The communique stated, in this regard, the recent ultimatum delivered by a sectarian order to the president of this nation to set up the so-called Ruga cattle settlements across the entire nation within a stipulated time, despite the national outcry, should be acknowledged as an entitlement under the bounty of freedom of expression. In return, we exercise ours and call upon Nigerian nationals across state demarcations to defend the sanctity of their ancestral land. This birthright has never been annulled, not even under colonial occupation. The Ooni of Ife, who is the Akogun of Ishara and Akilaton of Egba, noted in the communique that the colonial contraption known as Nigeria could not survive another upheaval in the nature of civil war of the Biafran secession. They advised that all efforts must, therefore, be made to anticipate and douse socio-political flare-ups, advancing the chances of a recurrence of such a conflict, no matter how reduced in scale, its devastating effects on the Nigerian humanity. We have in mind the destructive forms of social transaction that characterize groups such as nomadic cattle herdsmen and their umbrella groupings in the nature of Métis Allah. We confess ourselves increasingly distressed and appalled that the hitherto harmonious cohabitation, even routine collaboration, amongst the productive arms of the society that Nigerians have taken for granted even before pre-colonial times have deteriorated to unprecedented level of barbarity, contempt for human lives, and a defiant trampling on civic entitlements of other productive sectors such as farmers. This abhorrent yet consistent pattern of sectarian and homicidal arrogance is obviously not merely counterproductive but inhuman, criminal, and divisive. Besides, they reaffirmed their commitment to the right of every individual, community, collectivity of human beings as primary and preeminent above other parameters of human development or formal association. They further called on Nigerians to recognize that the internal colonization project was ever recurrent and there were backward, primitive, undeveloped minds that failed and continue to fail to overcome delusions in the antiquated belief in sectarian domination as the key to social existence. They charged the Nigerian people, both at state and community level, to convoke a series of frank encounters across various interests and concerns to debate and determine in full freedom the future structure of the nation. However, the SMBLF said there was surreptitious plans by the federal government to repeal the Land Use Act and take over control of lands from the state governors. This, it said, was to enable the government to subsequently implement the suspended Ruga project. The forum said it gathered that the federal government suspended the Ruga settlement project due to the act which restricted its access to land, adding that the government might move to repeal the law in order to facilitate the implementation of the Ruga grazing scheme. The SMBLF therefore cautioned the southern lawmakers in the National Assembly to be vigilant and to guard against the introduction of any bill intended to repeal or amend the Land Use Act. The forum said this in a statement in Abuja on Sunday by its co-spokesperson Yinka Ademakin Southwest, Professor Ugbo Southeast, Senator Bassi South-South, and Dr. Dogo Middle Belt. The group stated that it was not in any way impressed by the suspension of the Ruga settlement project, which it declared as an expansionist agenda on behalf of the Fulani nomads. The statement partly reads, "It is being alleged that there will be moves to repeal the Land Use Act in the Ruga suspension period so that the federal government can have authority over land which is currently under the states. We therefore call on all our members in the National Assembly to be vigilant about any surreptitious bill that may be introduced to tamper with control of land and thwart such without any waste of time." The 2014 National Conference debated this issue at length and resolved to retain the Land Use Act in the Constitution. The forum further warned the lawmakers against passing the bill to establish a regulatory framework for the water resources sector in Nigeria, sponsored by the executive, noting that it was meant to give the federal government the sole authority and control over the nation's rivers and underground waters. The group added, when this obvious water bill is taken alongside the Ruga program, the speculated assault on the Land Use Act, the internal colonization agenda, is complete. It is pertinent to ask why the federal government is not going ahead with Ruga in some northern states that have accepted the policy if the whole idea was not about land grabbing in the south and the middle belt states. The political pressure group stated that the federal government's support for local government autonomy was hinged on the Ruga scheme to allow aliens to take over allotted lands under the program. it vowed not to relax its opposition to the project, stressing that only outright cancellation of the initiative was accepted to the forum. The whole policy has equally opened our eyes to the reason why President Buhari has been harping on local government autonomy now and then, the group said. Be vigilant. This is what the Christian Association of Nigeria is saying. On its part, the Christian Association of Nigeria in southern Nigeria wants the people of the area to remain vigilant, adding that the Ruga project was not over. In a statement on Sunday, the Secretary of CAN in the 17 southern states, Dr. Joseph Ajogungwa, said despite its suspension, government was still working on the project. Southern CAN called on every southerner to be watchful, stressing, even as we pray, we don't need to keep quiet. The statement partly reads, "We do not have any land to give anybody as a grazing field or a colony, and we call on the southeastern governors to maintain their stand that they do not have such a place. Do you know what it means to give 10 hectares of land to herdsmen? We say no to that. As CAN, we will preach it from our pulpit. Every imam should preach from mosques, and traditional rulers should stand against it. Nobody should relent. No land should be given. Any traditional ruler that does should be dethroned. In the north, they have large hectares of land, very vast land that nobody is occupying. Why are they not building the ranches or Ruga there? They can come here, get grass and go, and we buy cow in exchange, just like the governor said. Ruga is not dead." Also, the Akwa Ibom State Chapter of CAN said the suspension of Ruga project by the federal government was not a guarantee that the program had been cancelled. It said the overwhelming rejection that greeted the policy across the country was enough reason for the government to completely cancel it and not announce suspension. The state chairman of the association, Dr. Ekwere, in a statement on Sunday, said the federal government would revisit the program. According to the statement, Ekwere stated this when he led other members of the association on a visit to the Oku Ibom Obiobio Solomon Etuk. Ekwere, the recent suspension of Ruga settlements by the President Muhammadu Buhari-led federal government is not a guarantee that Ruga is dead or is done away with. The policy can still be resurrected with full force anytime. We are therefore calling on the Oku Ibom and its council to lead voices to the aspiration of Christians in the state and other parts of Nigeria to persuade the presidency to withdraw Ruga permanently. He said farmers in Akwa Ibom would not surrender any part of their lands for Ruga. He also called on the Oku Ibom to advise traditional rulers and their subjects in the state to stop selling lands to strangers in their community. Meanwhile, the president of the Ijaw Youth Council, Eric Omori, said the ultimatum issued by the Northern Coalition was senseless. Omori said, "With respect to the ultimatum given to the governors, I think it is a senseless ultimatum. In the first place, they are a faceless group that has not demonstrated any capacity to do anything. They, the Northern Coalition, should be completely disregarded. The ultimatum is the voice from an inconsequential element." On the assurance given by the group that it would resolve the crisis between the herdsmen and the farmers, the IYC president said, "A problem that cannot be resolved by the federal government cannot be resolved by an inconsequential group from the remote part of the north." However, the coalition of Niger Delta militants called on southerners in the northern part of the country to consider returning home and be ready to defend themselves. The coalition of militant groups in the Niger Delta, in a statement on Sunday, described the threat by the northern groups as ill-advised. It said, "We are earnestly waiting for the northern youths to start fighting and see what would happen. Any killing will be responded to. We are not afraid of your threats. Our land is not for Fulani herdsmen. We therefore advise all southerners in the north to return home and be ready to defend themselves. We also advise all northerners in the south to either leave or be ready for any eventualities." The statement was signed by General John Duku, the leader of the Niger Delta Watchdog and convener of the coalition of Niger Delta agitators and 12 others. But the Secretary General of the Pan-Northern Socio-Political Organization, Arewa Consultative Forum, Mr. Anthony Sani, said the threat was not the solution to the crisis across the Ruga settlement project. Sani added that the suspension of the Ruga program was not the solution to the crisis. The ACF secretary appealed to northern youths to withdraw their ultimatum. He also berated those that were opposed to the program on the grounds that it was entirely a private enterprise. Sani said those opposed to Ruga, that is, should not feign ignorance of government involvement in many private ventures like former President Goodluck Jonathan's Almajiri schools, which the administration had hoped would solve the problem of banditry as well as herdsmen-farmer clashes. We know governments have been involved in the establishment of river basins and dams in support of private agricultural ventures. Government has subsidized tractors and fertilizers. Meanwhile, in Ogun State, a social development advocate, Gbenga Akinwade, has urged Governor Dapo Abiodun to begin the process of compensation of farmers who lost their crops to the incursions of herdsmen in Ogun West Senatorial District. Akinwade also appealed to Abiodun to establish Farmers Resuscitation Fund as a way of compensating farmers who lost their farm produce to herdsmen. Akinwade, who made the call in an interview with journalists in Abeokuta on Sunday, claimed the farmers in Yewa land were mostly affected by the activities of the herdsmen. Hence, the need for the government to establish the fund. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, a broad spectrum of opinions on this matter. But the takeaway from all this, from this rather long video, because this is the longest video that I've done so far. But the takeaway from this rather long video is that the Ooni of Ife has now lent his name to this pushback against these herders, that thus far and no further, enough is enough to Malam Buhari and his gunmen. And the Wole Soyinka, no less a figure as well, has also lent his voice to this pushback to say enough is enough of all this nonsense, because this carrying on cannot longer carry on, because we are now at that tipping point. And I'm really of the mind that these people feel they really want a fight. This is really what they want. This is really what Malam Buhari wants. He wants a fight, he wants a war, so that he can completely overwhelm the southern regions and then turn it into whatever it is that the agenda is, the Fulanization and the Islamization. We all know what his agenda is, and he's never really made any secret of what he is about. So now this is now what these people are now saying, that look, defend yourselves, because really these people are coming for you, and they have armed these Fulani herdsmen to come and savage and ravage you in your region. So if you don't prepare yourself, they will just slaughter you you like rams, effectively is what he's saying. So now the pushback has now begun, and at the forefront as ever is Wole Soyinka, and I am surprised to hear the Ooni of Ife. I am surprised and impressed to hear the Ooni of Ife lend his name to this, because traditionally, traditional rulers will coy away and shy away and make all these broad stroke statements of, oh, let's just get along and all that kind of stuff, because of course they know where their dollars is coming from. But then the Ooni of Ife or the Ooni of Ife can see the signals in the air that these people, they will come and take over his domain in no time, because the way they are preparing themselves now, once they move, they will just overwhelm, and the first place to overwhelm will be the Ooni of Ife, the Ooni's palace, and then the Olubadan's palace, and then the Alaafin of Oyo's palace. So once they take the Alaafin of Oyo's palace, and they take the Olubadan's palace, and they take the Ooni's palace, what is left for the Yoruba? That is the hub of the Yoruba race. So once they've taken that, then they've overwhelmed the Yorubas. So then we all become Ahmed, and then your name is, we become Mukhtar, and we start serving Mukhtar, and so we can see what is coming, and they can see what is coming. So now the pushback is now being led by these prominent figures, Wole Soyinka particularly, and then the Ooni surprisingly. But then this is really what we wanted to see, and now it looks as though now a plan is taking shape, and the pushback against Malam Buhari is now taking firm footing. But Malam Buhari, of course, is a very stubborn man, and is a man that is used to having his own way, and if he doesn't have his own way, he will shoot his way through until he has his own way. This is what we know the man for. So now, will he yield, or will he try and force it? My suspicion is that he will try and force it, because he's a gunman who believes in the rule of the gun, and he believes in the rule of force. So now how this all plays out, only the future will tell, and it will tell fairly shortly. So now conversations in the comment section is what I am inviting around this rather long-winded video that I have done. So come engage with me in the comment section to let me know what you are making of all this. What Wole Soyinka said, the Ooni taking the position, and Malam Buhari and his gunmen. So this is what we are looking to discuss. But before you come join me to have that conversation, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray, bell button, that way you're notified every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me what you're thinking in the comment section. So I'll leave you here, meet you there, but here I say peace.